It's that time once again, y'all. It is time to get back into the classics. Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, right chair, right now, here on RPG Elite. Continuing our series on Top Secret, first edition, the granddaddy of Espionage Tabletop RPGs. Now, when it comes to genres in tabletop RPGs, all of us know that the most popular genre that's out there is high fantasy. Near the bottom of that are tabletop RPGs that focus on espionage, secret agents, spies, that kind of thing. And so you might be asking the questions, so why are you covering this stuff, man? Because I don't get a whole lot of views. Go back and look at my views on the Top Secret series. I would be blessed to get, what, over 100 views? So why am I doing this? Here's one reason. I'm not going to tell you all of them because there's many, but here's one major reason. I have an agenda, and I've talked about this agenda many times before. I have not laid it out, probably will never lay it out, but part of my agenda is to make sure that some of these classics that we tend to forget will get their day in the sun. And if you go back and watch this video here, it will tell you that Classic Tabletop RPGs is a pillar of this channel, and I am dedicated to that. I look at this channel as a service. And so maybe there's some people out there that don't even know this game exists. Okay, well now it's time for them maybe to get a glimpse into some of the classic systems. No, I'm not making a whole lot of money on those videos, and I am doing this because it is my business. So why would I do something that doesn't gain me the most money? Again, part of the agenda. And another huge reason is because, well, I already announced that this is what I was going to do. And my word is worth more than money. So if I said that I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. Like the game that comes after this, which I've already announced that I was going to do, and one that people are waiting for is Traveler. I am going to do that. We're going to go straight through exactly what I have told you guys. So there it is. I've laid it out to you, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to finish this series, y'all. I'm even going to finish the Gamma World series because that went a little bit longer than what I planned. We still got one more video to do on that, okay? At least one more video, and I am going to get it done. It's a long gameplay video. We'll get that together. That was my first, and we're just kind of getting logistics together on that as well because we've got a lot of other things planned. Wow, are there some things planned for this year. So before we get into that, let me encourage you to go over, and if you're interested in all the things that are happening here on this channel, and you're also interested in giveaways and other content that I will not post here on YouTube, you might want to go ahead, join the LEET Squad. Ding! Yeah, go ahead and click on the link that's down in the description below, and that'll take you to a landing page, and that landing page is going to ask for your email and your name, and then you will be a part of the LEET Squad, and there'll be some perks and things, like I said, extra content, giveaways, exclusive giveaways that only goes to my LEET Squad. So I will announce them on the YouTube channel, but unless you're part of the LEET Squad, you will not be a part of those. This month, giving away a free copy of Chronos Builder, and there's been some questions about this. So real quick, yes, you can do 2D maps as well as 3D maps. It is a 3D map maker, but it will export into 2D as well. So you can use this for your live sessions and put it right there on the table and go ahead and do your business. All right? I'm giving away 3 keys in the next 3 months, or I might intersperse it in there with a different kind of giveaway, and I'm going to be reaching out to people. But once a month, somebody's going to be getting something who is a part of the LEET Squad. So go ahead, down in the description below, click that link and join the LEET Squad. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to be getting into, that's what I'm talking about, gunfights, baby, or what they call in Top Secret First Edition, projectile weapon combat. Oh man, it just doesn't have that ring to it, y'all. Let's get into projectile weapon combat, and I'm going to see you on the other side with the question of the vid. Let's roll them. Projectile combat in Top Secret 1E is deadly. So if you get shot and your life level goes to 0, you are dead. There is no instant heal, no respawning, Hey, it's taps for you, and it's time to make a new character. The game is gritty, so you have to prepare, know what to and what not to do, and be wise if you want to survive beyond one mission. Projectile combat has a field of fire that applies to all combatants. In Top Secret 1E, field of fire is generally 45 degrees to the right and left front of the firing character, giving them a full 90 degrees for one phase of combat which they are able to shoot in. Now, you may want to allow 90 degrees to either side instead of just 45 degrees, since it's more than possible to do so. However, if you do that, it may take a tad longer for the character to swing their arm all the way around to the side, so you could apply a penalty to net speed of -2 or -3, and we'll get the net speed in a second. First shot determination is just a fancy way of saying who's going to go first when it comes to shooting combat. How we determine this is by comparing the offensive values of the combatants. So let's pull up their sheets here. First, we're going to look at Sarah. Sarah has a 96. Bad Agent over here, he has a 69. Just from that, we know that Sarah has an edge, but this is just the base of what they're going to start with. Then you're going to add and or subtract the appropriate modifiers from the first shot determination chart, which is here. Once everything has been tallied up, after you get all of your modifiers together, you're going to record the result. This is what is called the net speed for that character. After everyone's net speed has been determined, the one with the highest net speed will go first. The second highest will go second, etc. Once everyone has fired one time, that will end the first phase. Now, normally, unless someone does something different to change their net speed, this is going to be the order of initiative in the battle. If a combatant does something to change their net speed, then a new value is going to be recalculated. It's going to be placed in the order from highest to lowest in the first shot determination of that phase. In Top Secret 1E, where a combatant draws their weapon from will affect how fast they are able to fire in the round that they draw their weapon, or I should say, the phase that they draw their weapon. Right here, you have the column for the modifiers for drawing your weapon, depending on the location. So if you got it in a shoulder holster, it'll be a -8. You have it in a neck band, What? In a neckband. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what that looks like. Apparently you can have, maybe they're talking about a small blade or something. I don't know. Well, if you had it in a neckband, it's going to be a -14. But again, this only is applied once. So once it's applied, you're not going to have to do it again unless you reholster it or put it away and then have to redraw it again. Next is aiming. This is really simple. If it's a normal aim where you're just pointing and shooting, then it's nothing. If you're going to do some hip shooting, that's going to give you a bonus to hit. Now, we went over the surprise factor in the video where I kind of made a boo-boo, but we went through it, and these modifiers right here on whether somebody was surprised or completely surprised, and that is going to determine the speed factor by which someone reacts. So it's going to be either a -5 or a -10. If you give your opponent the first move, that also is going to give a -3. But this is only for the first phase of combat. Weapon speed. This is determined on the weapon table. If we go to the weapons table here, you're going to see that weapon speed is listed right here. And this is going to be on your character sheet. Now, we're not even going to deal with all of this stuff over here because that's under the optional rule of gun design. And we're not doing the optional rules, as I said before. So we're not going to mess with that. We've already done the hand weapon value in the last video in hand-to-hand combat.
And the deception value is not something that's really going to come into play. So we're not going to mess with that. We're just going to really, this one from PWV all the way over to cost is the only ones that we're going to deal with. And weapon speed has a rating here. A means average, F means fast, V means very fast, and all of that is right over here on the first shot determination chart. So depending on your weapon, it will give you its speed and you will add its modifier. So if we go over here to Sarah, she's carrying an M1917 police revolver. She has a weapon speed of fast. That means for her net speed, she's going to get a +5 bonus. The last thing to take into consideration is the shooter's movement. Now, if the shooter's just walking or crawling, there's nothing. However, if they're running, it's going to be a -20, and they're running and dodging at the same time as they're trying to shoot back at somebody, yeah, that's a -25, which is the highest. Now, you have a couple others down here, like if they're in or on a moving vehicle. You know, we've seen that one 5 million times in the movies, right? That's a -10. And if they're wading through something, sometimes it's not necessarily water, but if they're wading through something, then that's also going to give them a -5 to their net speed. So these are all the things to take into consideration, and you might even come up with your own custom ones as well. But these are the ones that are in the core book in terms of the modifiers that you're going to add for your net speed for your first shot determination. Here we are in phase 1, and we are in the diner once again, and Sarah has just got done having a cup of coffee. She's on her day off, and she's about to leave the diner, but who walks through the door is an agent that she knows works for a terrorist organization, and he knows her. And as he walks through the door, because he's coming in as well to get a cup of coffee, what are the chances? And they stop and they look at one another and freeze. And then you have that kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of situation. And then it's on like Donkey Kong. So we're going to go through phase 1 here, and I'll go through some of the charts and things that we have to reference in doing projectile combat in Top Secret 1E. And again, we're only going to do 3 phases, so it doesn't go on forever and ever, but so you get the gist of how this works. So the first thing we need to do here is we have to figure out net speed for both the bad agent and Sarah. So let's pull them up. Now we already have the base. The base is going to go off of the offense. So the bad agent's offense is 69. Sarah's offense is 96. So out the gate, she has an advantage, but we have to add modifiers, remember, for the first shot determination table. So for the bad agent, he is going to draw his weapon from his shoulder holster and shoot, while at the same time he's going to be moving over here next to these tables. Sarah, on the other hand, is going to draw her weapon, but she's going to run and dive over that counter. She's not shooting. She's just moving. So when we look at the bad agent and his shoulder holster, he has a -8 because he has to draw it from his shoulder holster. He also has a +10. Now the +10 has to do with his weapon. His weapon speed is very fast. A Walther P38 is very fast. And so all in all, he will get a +2, which means he gets a grand total of 71 for his net speed. Sarah, on the other hand, she has to draw her weapon from her back because that's where she keeps it in the small of her back. So she has to draw her weapon from there. But she has that +5 for her weapon. Go back here. We have a +5 for being fast. So grand total on that is going to be 89. So she will go first since she has a higher net speed. Now, I didn't say this, but movement always goes after everybody has shot. So she's not going to actually move until the bad agent has shot. However, her moving is going to be taken into account when it comes for him to hit. Now, how do you attack in Top Secret 1E for projectile combat is with percentile die. And it goes off of, again, your offense. So your offense is going to be the base. But again, there are going to be some modifiers. And let's go ahead and check out the to hit determination chart because the modifiers are here. So he's going to start at a 69. That's going to be his base once again. Another thing you're going to have to take into consideration is the weapon. We go back to his weapon. He has a PWV, which is a projectile weapon value of 42. You're going to add that to your offense. So he's going to add 69 and 42, but we're going to continue here. We need to do some more adjustments. First adjustment is this big one right here, the minus 60. This is for range. Let's go back to the weapons table. So the range up here, short range is 40 to 50 feet. This is a small diner. You know they're going to be within that range, right? So I'm just going to close this out and we're just going to measure. And yep, 36 feet. And even if she jumps over the counter, she's still going to be under 50 feet, right? So this is short range. So we go back to the bad agent and his weapon, and it's a minus 60 to his to hit. Next, we're going to go to the to hit determination table. We're going to look at a couple of different things. The movement of the shooter. Now remember, he's moving over near this table and he's just walking. So that's going to be a minus 5. But she's running and dodging. So that's going to be a minus 20. After it's all said and done, that's going to give you a grand total of 26. He has to roll on percentile die or lower in order to hit her as she's taking that dive over the counter. So we're going to go back over here and we're going to see exactly what happens. Does he do it? He does not. He rolled a 41. So that is going to be the end of that phase. For phase 2, Sarah will shoot the bad agent, and bad agent, he's not going to shoot this round or this phase. He's going to flip over that table so he can have some cover. So Sarah is the only one that's shooting. So let's take a look at her. Her base is going to be 96. She's going to have to add a 28 for her projectile weapon value for her police revolver. On top of that, she has a minus 45 for short range. She also has a minus 10. And where'd that come from? Let's go ahead to look at the to hit determination table. Right down here, we see that if the target is obscured, 50% or less of target is visible or prone, which will be because he's flipping over this table, it's going to be a minus 10. So she's got a grand total of 96 plus 28 minus 45 minus 10, which gives her a 69 to hit. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Now in this situation, I'm going to do something that's a little homebrew. She's able to shoot through this table, okay? Because normally these diner tables are what, like thick particle board or something like that. She's able to shoot through it, but the damage will not be as severe. So whatever damage is done, if damage is done, it's going to be at a minus 2. We're just going to say that off the top. Now, normally I wouldn't do that, but we're going to do that on this one because that makes sense. So make sure that you are just doing things that kind of make sense as you're going through this, because it kind of actually that is according to the core book, because that's exactly what they say. Now it's time for her to shoot at the bad agent. She needs a 69 or lower. Will it happen? Not today. She misses and fires, and maybe she fires wide or something and hits the door over here and cracks the glass. Now we move on to the next phase. In this phase, Sarah will take a chance and she's going to shoot again. And the bad agent, he's now going to take a shot as well. Now, net speed doesn't need to be figured out again because nothing's really changed. So Sarah is going to be the one that shoots first. If we look back at Sarah again, we got the same situation. Starts off at a base of 96. She's got the plus 28 because of her gun, minus 45 because of short range, minus 10 because he's got cover. But we have an extra one that we're going to add in there as well. Look at the to hit determination table right here. The second consecutive shot by one character. Every consecutive shot that you take for each phase is going to cumulatively add up and take away from your to hit. So she has an added -10 because she fired in 2 consecutive phases. So she's going to have a 59 this time to hit. So let's see if she does it. Oh, she does this time. She might have missed the first time, but she does this time. So let's see how this all pans out. First thing you have to do is figure out where she hit. So we go to the general injury hit location table. You roll percentile dice for that. She rolled a 23, which is the left arm. So she hit the guy in the left arm. Now we're going to roll for the wound itself on the wound table. Now we roll 1d10 for this. The first 1d10 roll is for the type of wound. The second is for the seriousness of the wound, whether it's light or serious. So let's do the first one to see what kind of wound this is. 4 is an incision. Not that bad. And now you figure out how serious this is. You roll a 1 to 5, it's going to be a light wound, and at 6 and above will be a serious wound. So let's see what we get. It's a 9, which means it's serious. So it is 4 points of damage for the bad agent. Bad agent, bad agent. So let me put this back to where it is for his life. And actually, it would be 4 points from 11. So that's 7. So yes, because his life down here is 11. So he now has 7 points of life left. All right, but now it's the bad agent's turn. And let's figure out what he needs to hit. Well, he's got the 69. And remember, he's got a 45 for his gun. He's got a -10 because Sarah is covered by the counter. Also had a -60 for his range for the Walther P38. He also has a -20. Now, why does he have a -20? Where'd that come from? Let's go back to that to hit determination table. He has a -20 because right here under wounds, character firing is wounded and life level is half or below. Now, it's not exactly half, so we'll just give him a -5. We'll give him a -5 instead of a -20 on that. So because of a -5, so all in all, we have a 69 plus 45, -10, -60, -5 because the character firing is wounded, but life level is more than half of normal. So it's -5. He has a grand total of 39. He has not a bad chance of hitting her, but he has to hit her in the right location because her bottom extremities are not seen. So at best, he's going to have to get like a headshot or a arm shot or maybe a chest shot, but he can't get a leg shot or an abdomen shot or something like that. Otherwise, it's going to be a miss. So let's see what he rolls and what he gets. Rolls a 39 on the nose. Now this actually, there is a rule that comes into play when you roll exactly what you need. But I'm not going to cover it in this one. I'm going to cover it in the next video. But I'm going to refer back to this video. But we're just going to say that he hit. And because he hit, we got to make some rolls, don't we? First on the general injury table, let's see what we get. 40 means that he hit the chest. Okay. We're going to say the upper chest because, you know, it's not going to be a full chest. So, but we will say the chest. So like the upper chest area. We'll say that. And so he did hit. So now we have to go back and figure out what kind of wound this is. 6. This is a laceration. Not all that bad because she could take the hit. So she could take this hit. Let's see how serious this is. 5, which means it's light damage. So a 5-point laceration. So she has 13 life. And now she has 8. So she just got a hit in the upper chest, and she kind of goes back. She screams a little bit in pain, but she's still in action. So you get the gist of how this works. So those are the tables and everything that you need to understand just the basic ranged combat, or what they call projectile combat, in Top Secret First Edition. Now, the 5% rule posits that there's always a chance someone will be able to hit or miss a combatant when shooting. This is when all modifiers have been added. Even if it takes the result above or below what would be possible, if the situation warrants it, and I'll explain that little part in a second, there's a 5% chance that someone will hit or miss. So what this means is that the best you can do when rolling percentile dice to hit is 95%. The worst you can do is 5%. This means body parts are in view and are possible to be hit. So that's what I mean by if the situation warrants it. You have to have something in view unless you can shoot through something. If someone is hiding behind a brick wall, well, then obviously they won't be able to be hit, or nobody's going to be shooting through that. But if they expose themselves to shoot or move or do anything like that, then the parts that are exposed will be able to be hit. Now, if you roll something and it's on a part that is not exposed, that is considered a miss.
So you have this granular little bit of crunchiness, but really it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. Now, if you don't get into crunchiness and all the rest of that stuff as far as where you get hit and all the rest of that, okay. But when you don't really have that many mechanics to begin with, maybe it's not as crunchy as you think, and it's actually pretty simple. It's very simple, to be honest. I don't know, y'all. This is growing on me. I didn't think that I would like it that much, but it's growing on me a little bit. Like, it's something that I'm like, yeah, I could probably play this, play a couple missions, do some things here and there and whatever. This would be pretty good. This is really great for one-shots or even mini adventures or something like that. If you like this video today, hey, then go ahead and crush the like button. Sometimes I gotta bring it back sometimes to the old stuff I used to do, you know what I'm saying? Also, folks, if you do like the content on this channel, consider subscribing. Also, share the videos. Spread the love. Spread the word about the RPG Elite and what we are doing here in 2023, man. I'm excited about 2023. You got some cool things going on. On the Farilla Magilla, let's get into our question of the vid. And this is simple, right? So we're talking about guns. So what do you think the question of the vid is going to be? Oh, you know it. What is your favorite gun? Don't really care about the reason why. Maybe you just think the gun looks cool. Maybe you just like the gun because you've handled the gun or you've heard about the gun, whatever. What's your favorite gun? Go ahead and let's talk guns down in the comments below. That's it, y'all. I'm going to pull my snaggle puss.
So exit, stage left.
If you've got a tabletop RPG session going on this weekend, then I hope it is a fantastic RPG Elite session. And also, y'all, hey, check. If you haven't and you are interested in looking at more videos on Top Secret First Edition, right here is the playlist. All right, I'm out of here. So peace, 5,000 leets. Hey, a brother is outie.